Over the past few weeks, we've been seeing the leadership argue and fuss and fight. And over these few weeks, we've also seen the rise and toppling numbers of COVID-19's deaths. In this, we've also seen the rise of assistance to the indigenous communities, especially remote and rural communities and small farming communities. IYX Africa and myself is asking the youth a very important question. In all these arguments and in all this fussing and fighting, are you prepared to make your stand and voice yourself? Are you prepared as an indigenous youth to stand up and say, this is my experience and this is what I've seen over these few years, and we have no help. We haven't really seen our community shape. For one, I haven't. I'm 42 years old and I haven't seen our communities. Not from my mother's age group or my grandparents, I haven't. So this is that opportunity I create for myself as well, to ask the indigenous youth of Southern Africa, what changes have you seen in your community? And who made these changes? Are these changes good? Are these changes bad? IYX Africa is going to create a conference, an online conference, where it's going to be over 2 days. Unfortunately, we can't select a lot of youth out there to join us. But the youth we are calling, we're asking youth that work for organizations, whether it is environmentalism, food security, sustainable youth development, community leaders. If you are between the ages of 21 and 30, and you feel that what you've learned can make a change and you can advise our elders, this is that time. I'm talking to my elders as well and my leaders. I'll be inviting a few of y'all each day over the 2 days, small groups of y'all, to join in and listen. Unfortunately, I'm not going to ask for your views, but I can ask for you to join in and listen to the views of these youth and their concerns. We're looking for 50 individuals. We're looking for 20 leadership per day. That will be 20 on a Saturday and 20 on a Sunday to join in the talks, and 30 youth on a Saturday and 30 youth on a Sunday as well. So it's two different sets of groups from that will be sharing maybe about an hour, hour and a half, and presenting not just what they feel and their concerns, but to present some sort of an idea you can put forth in your community, your province, to your indigenous leaders in your community. Something where you can start a dialogue with them. You know, I think these people need help. I think these people need to really hear from us, the youth leaders and the youth, what actually we are seeing and what are we seeing at this important time in life. You know, we are supposed to be happy. We are not. And in this, we are not happy because of our doings, but that of our peers and our leaders. We don't mind you calling yourself whatever you call yourself. The thing is, a leader has to show what he's doing. We're not seeing anything. And we would like change. So I'm asking these youth out there, please, let's make this change. Let's not have a conference of argument and shouting each other and finger pointing and name calling. We have a situation here. Our leaders and their advice is not going anywhere. And whoever's advising them is not going anywhere. Whoever's guiding them is not taking them anywhere. So I feel that your advice could do that. So we're asking for solutions within the indigenous youth community. And we're asking for solutions to language, to food security, to environmentalism, how to better understand these things, how to better understand our land rights. We have youth in these fields in life. We need you. We need you. I've met many, you know. I've met many activists in South Africa, brown activists. And this is that time we're calling on to you. You can email me or WhatsApp me. All the details will be below in this link of this post. And all we're asking is, let's come up with solutions in the indigenous community that we actually can hand over to our leadership and say, let's try this. If not me asking, how about the entire youth of our community asking? This is where force comes into play. So if you are concerned youth, and you are concerned of the state we are living in within COVID-19, this new life we are living as indigenous people. We hardly even got over the German genocide or apartheid. Now we need to go through COVID-19 and what it's leaving behind. So this is your choice, indigenous youth. Are we going to be led by our peers and the ideas of those of old? We're not saying that we're disrespecting them, but some of their ideas conflicts with what we believe in the now. And it conflicts with how we live. Our lives are going down. And it's going down in a very fast rate. We thought guns and drugs would do that. But unfortunately, it seems like neglecting our communities from within our own ranks is doing that. So here it is. I'm a nobody, a bushman leader, leading youth. That's it. That's it. I ain't no chief, I ain't no king, I ain't no queen. I ain't no lord. I'm just a bushman that leads children in the right path, whether it is our indigenous children or any other people's children. But this is the concerns of our community. So as a bushman youth leader, here's why I ask you, bushman youth, are you ready to make decisions for your community? If you are not going to do that, it's going to be left to arguments against politics that we will never win. But if we can show the initiative that we can start building and arguing our own problems from a youth perspective and hand over these ideas to our elders and our leaders, kings, queens, whatever you want to call them, and say, we want this lifestyle. We want this truth. While y'all fight, could we do this? Could we fix the community while y'all go on to continue with what y'all are doing? Because what y'all are doing is harming our community. Your personal lives are harming our community. Your personal views are harming the development of indigenous youth. So there's it, my people. A plain and simple request. Let this conference that IYX Africa is building, an online conference, it's not the physical one, go out to all of y'all and understand that as the indigenous youth of Southern Africa, we need to start asking the appropriate questions and coming up with ideas to fix our own community. We can't be asking external help anymore. It's 2021. We come very far in life to actually still wait for somebody to explain us how to fix a car when we've been fixing and building cars. We've been asking people to assist us in building homes when we've been building homes for other people. So here's where we start building for ourselves using the skill of the youth and the understanding of the youth. Does the indigenous youth feel it has the right now to voice itself and to stand up? I think they do. I think they do. After what I've seen in Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, I think you do. You do. You've been neglected. So in this neglect, let's come up with ideas, sustainable ideas that could lead us forward. Ideas that we could take to our leadership with respect and say, why don't we try this ABC? Right now, too many of us are fighting each other. Too many. Within our youth, within our cultures, within our communities, yet we are one indigenous family. Just one. One that's politically named and framed wrong. And you are following that wrong naming and wrong framing very passionately. It's time you stand back and understand what we are living is a trick. And this trick is a political trick to keep you fighting each other, to keep you arguing each other while the bigger picture gets sold, auctioned, and handed over to other people because we can't. So here it is. We're calling the youth. IYX Africa is calling the youth. You can email us on indigiyouthexchangeafrica@gmail.com, or you can get us on 072-050-1835 on WhatsApp. The rest of the details will be in this link, and we are trying to build a conference with respectable youth that wants to move forward. We don't want your personal life and your personal ideas. We want you to strategically to come forth and say, I worked for this in this organization, whether it is a grassroots organization or whether it's one of the big ones. We need you to come forth and say, I have this idea that could not save us, but we could work forward on it. It is sustainable. We could achieve it. And all these ideas, if they look alike and feel alike and sound alike, that's what we're going to be doing. That's one thing for sure. We are asking youth to partake for the first time and make up their mind. Even if it has to come to the cost that IYX Africa has to get funding for your data and airtime, this is that time. But we need serious indigenous youth, brown youth, please, whoever you are, we do not want chance takers here. Our elders are failing us, and we do not need a failing youth minority. We need a majority that actually is going to be advising these elders of us forward, because they are at that positions now. I wouldn't want that position. I would not want it. I'm a revolutionist that has a total different idea to how we should work this out, but I'm coming to understanding that we should do this civilly. And the only civil way is to begin in our own ranks and question our leaders' ability to lead us forward. Not just lead us, it's about leading us forward, change. We're not seeing change. So please, the youth out there, with respect, please, we're looking for youth with an understanding to what is sustainability and what it is to obtain these goals, and hold it there, sustain that, so that we can have a fruitful youth development over the next 10, 20 years that could shape the indigenous leadership. Thank you.